So there we have it. It's an issue that's obviously raised a lot of controversy across the country. And joining us in studio, perhaps to shed some more light on that issue and indeed give us a little bit more details on what he was standing for, is Francis Atwoli. He's the Secretary General for COTU. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, sister.
Let's start off with probably the question that's on a lot of people's minds. Why are you supporting the MPs at this moment?
Actually, people have mistaken me to be agitating or advocating for wages or salaries increases to MPs. I'm not saying that MPs' salaries should be increased at all. What I'm saying is that we have some international instruments that do protect wages. And this is Convention number 95 of 1949, came into force on 24th of September in 1952. And ratified by the Kenya government, domesticated into our Employment Act on wages and incomes protection.
So your issue is the slashing of the wages, or what exactly do you have an issue with? If you're not supporting the MPs, then what is the issue?
What we are saying is that you cannot review one's salary progressively or downwards, or in a manner that appears that you are reducing one's salary. It is against that particular convention and our own local labor laws.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. When the campaigns were going in, these MPs knew what they were getting themselves into, and now it appears that they are now crying out about it and saying that they demand that the Salaries and Remuneration Commission heeds to their call. Is that not some kind of contradiction to what they stand for?
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
This is a big mistake that they made. We have the MPs of 10th Parliament in 11th Parliament who are enjoying terms and conditions of service in the 10th Parliament. And once you have been given a salary, it's a special salary to you. The same job you are doing, the same salary structure, and the same work. Even if your contract is to be renewed, it cannot be renewed downwards. You will have to maintain the same salary. That's what we are saying. For the new MPs, when they were getting nomination, they would have been told this is what you are going to enter into, and this is where you are supposed to sign that your new wage will be this. This will be your new terms and conditions of service. In the absence of such a document, they have got to enjoy what others were enjoying in the 10th Parliament. And you see what the Salary Review Commission did was just a simple mathematics of retaining the same wage bill that the 10th Parliament used to enjoy, 1.8 billion or something of that. What they did, they paid PwC about 32 million shillings on a simple mathematics you would have done. And then what they did, they had to 851,000 that the former MPs used to enjoy in the 10th Parliament, multiply by the 222 MPs at that particular time, divide by the now new MPs 349, that comes to 541, and then they say this is what you are going to get. We maintain
and that's what you have an issue
without a new structure. They would have even employed a consultant to work out on a job evaluation or a salary structure or classification or something to do like that.
So that
they come up with a complete new structure, but it retains the same terms and conditions of service for the old MPs.
So your issue is with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. You're upset with them. So you're talking about...
Because let me tell you, sister, if we allow that to happen to members of Parliament, next time it will be within here in the royal media, where they will say we want more journalists, we want more presenters, we want more people, cameramen and so on, at the same wage bill. What do we do? Let us divide.
Can I ask you something? You also have a lot of other workers who are still fighting for their rights, who are still unhappy with their pay. If you look at the flower farms, for instance, does this not seem like it's off the track with regards with regards to the priorities? Why aren't you looking at those issues first and foremost before going to what the MPs are making?
Let me tell you, if that one goes through, tomorrow somebody who works for Ramji Kanji, Onyango and Otieno, Kamau, and Jerry Company Limited will say, you see, if the MP's salary or wages were reduced down, I'm reducing your salary with 20 or 30%. You have nowhere to go. They will tell you, go and tell you Atwoli to champion for you and get whatever you want. That's what we are saying. It can't be. Because once you set a precedent, it doesn't matter to which type of class of people. but it will have to affect the lowly placed workers that we do represent in various industries. We are not saying we don't have issues, but we are, leave alone that. The SRC has said it will go further and change the duration, the life of the collective bargaining agreement from 2 years to 4 years, irrespective of the inflation rate or the economic growth that decides what one should be able to earn at that, including the enterprise economic development. So what we are saying, we can't allow that to persist. We can't allow that to happen. We will be giving a leeway to exploitation of the highest level in this country. Everybody will be at will, will be free to reduce one's salary at any time he or she thinks it is fit.
So you want the SRC disbanded?
What we are saying, if it is incompetence, yes, because the Constitution also says of incompetence.
And you think they're incompetent?
Of course, if they, I've told you the symbol logic that made them to arrive at 541 for the current members of parliament and retain the same wage bill of the 10th parliament. They didn't do their research. And then it contravenes the international instruments that we have, including our own local statutes. That's why I'm saying they are incompetent.
And you're moving for a referendum as well. Is that not too expensive? Is that not some form of an overreaction?
No, what we don't want is a Kenya to apply impunity in his work and say this is impossible because of the Constitution. It is us who brought the Constitution. Don't hide under the Constitution. Do what you are supposed to above the board. What you are supposed to do above the board. Be more clearer, specific, sincere, open on whatever you are supposed to do, and follow the law to the latter. Don't do things, have us there and say, I'm protected by the Constitution. The Constitution can be amended. And that's what I'm saying. The SRC must be very, very careful. Some of us, we are authority on industrial relations practice. Yeah. And whatever I'm saying, I know eventually it will have to affect most Kenyan workers. I'm saying we can't allow, you allow it to MPs, tomorrow it will to our own members, our various organizations. For anybody who wants to maximize profit, we'll have to reduce workers' salaries down.
You have talked about the fact that you're doing this on behalf of the workers because you want their rights to be represented throughout. In the past, though, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, you have expressed interest in office. Could this be a political move at all?
No, I've never said that. If I wanted to become a senator, I would have been a senator like yesterday. Or if I wanted to become an MP or member of parliament, I wouldn't have, today I would have been an MP. I can tell you we have supported various friends of ours who are in parliament today. And I'm not saying I want. I said no, I can't, because we are a neutral organization. We didn't want to enter into any partisan politics, and we remained neutral apart from whoever, apart from me. But my deputy is a member of parliament, and others too. But what we are saying, it is not politics. I would never go to parliament myself. You will never see me as a member of parliament in my lifetime.
That's not an interest that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a champion of social justice to fight for the lowly placed workers or anybody who is in dire need of representation. And it's not only in parliament where you can do such a job. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I'll never go to parliament. If I wanted to go to parliament, I would have gone a long time ago, like my predecessors, they're all members of parliament.
I have a final question. Labor Day is coming up. What's the message this time around? What is it that you want to drive home? What do you want Kenyans to hear from you? Absolutely
what we are saying, we want to transform. The theme of this year's Labor Day is the transformation of our economy for employment creation. We want to support the new government and the newly elected president to make sure that we spur economic growth and hence we enjoy the fruits of the labor. And we have appealed to our members to redouble their efforts in their various places of work for the purposes of growing our economy. If the economy is performing, then there will be a lot of employment, people will have money around, and the country will be in a better position to take care of the needy and those people who are jobless in our country. And I will tell you what, when President Kibaki took over the reins of leadership in 2002, we did support him. After 3 years, our economy had gone up to 3.5%. 5 years, we are doing at around 6.1%. We went fighting when we were at 7.1%. And a lot of banks had a lot of money. They could give loans and secured loans, and middle wage earners, most of them who are our members, own the cars and so on, and it was pretty good. And this is where we want to go, and that's why we are saying we will have to support this government on transformation of of our economy. And when the economy grows, there will be plenty for our own Kenyans, both in infrastructure development and economic advancement. That's where we are.
We thank you for taking time out to come in to talk to us. Kenyans are no doubt going to be, they're still talking about some of the remarks that you made earlier today. We'll sample some of those later on. But thank you for talking to us on Sunday Live. We appreciate it. Okay, right. We're going to just give you a recap of some of what I've talked about with Francis.